Many popular content creators have professional video editors to make their content stand out. Today, we sat down with Samson, a professional video editor who is well known for working with some of the biggest creators and organizations in the gaming space. Before we start the video, make sure you subscribe and join the Discord server to support me. Samson, thank you so much for joining us today. Would you mind telling me a little bit about yourself?
Hi. My name is Samson. I edit videos professionally for a living and do visual effects. Right now I'm full-time main channel editor for Valkyrae, and I edit and do VFX for a bunch of people from esports orgs like C9, 100 Thieves, Riot Games, to a bunch of big YouTube channels. And that's what I do for a living.
So could you tell me how you got into editing and how long you've been editing for?
I've been editing for 5 years professionally now, but I remember having edited just like for fun since I was like 10. I remember one time I was in like a school project class and I used like my laptop camera to do like a match cut when I was like 10 years old for a school project, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And everybody was like, whoa, how did you do that? But it like definitely looked so shit in real life. In high school, I realized I was like, I want to edit videos. I really like it. I had started editing videos for like the football team, the school newspaper, and I was like, this is really fun. Yeah, that's my story. I was just chronically online and was like, I want to be more chronically online. So I decided to edit videos.
What creators have you worked with as well?
I can't talk about everybody because like NDAs are a thing, but I have over 1 billion views, I think now, just like in total things I've made. So that's crazy to think about. Like 1 in 7 people has seen a video that I've made. I know there's like repeat watchers. Yeah, I've worked with a lot of people, tons of YouTubers. Ray is my main, I guess, client, but she's more of like a friend now. I work with all like her friend group. I've worked with Offline TV. So like everybody in that kind of space. Yeah, all of like the OTV Ray group. I'm contracted with Riot Games right now, editing for LCS. And that's fun because I am a League of Legends player, sadly.
So how much sunlight do you typically see on an average basis?
None at all. 0. I got into this interview, it was 10:30 a.m. and I just woken up.
When in terms of finding creators, how did you find those creators?
Every single job that I have has been because I was friends with somebody, or I just like spoke to somebody genuinely and became friends with them, and then they like reached out after.
So getting work mainly through friends.
Yes, mainly through friends, which I got through working at 100 Thieves, which I got through posting stuff on TikTok. If you need to like making a brand for yourself is also huge, especially even if you're just an editor. Post your edits, post a reel, post stuff on TikTok, try and find a following and find, a brand, and it'll make it a lot easier to get clients.
Could you tell me how editing has evolved as YouTube and content have been changing and growing over the last few years?
When I first started editing like 5-6 years ago, it was very much cheesier humor. That was the vibe, like Smosh style, like punch-ins, sound effects.
I remember that.
And it was cool. Like no editing style is bad if people watch it. That's what I'll say. And then things evolved into like the Mr. Beast hypercut, like attention span.
I do agree though with what you said, because kind of how you were mentioning the Smosh era, that time period, like people used to do so many playthroughs. If you looked on any of the gaming trending pages, all playthroughs to like the newest game. Nowadays people don't want to watch that, and it's kind of sad because it's so hard to find content like that because nobody wants to do it. It's not successful anymore.
Yeah, I do want to shout out Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. They still do playthroughs to this day on their YouTube channels, and they still get views, and I think that's really cool.
What would you recommend for editors starting out?
I don't think it matters what software you start on, as long as you start. I think that's the biggest thing, is to just do stuff. Every editing software is going to have your cut, your ability to arrange clips, whether it's like CapCut, iMovie, or Premiere. And that's all you need to make a good edit. Like, you don't need crazy effects. Sorry, I just faced a Celsius, and I have a crippling caffeine addiction. So for young editors, start drinking caffeine firstly. Drink lots of caffeine. Don't drink anything else. Don't drink water. Don't go outside. Don't see the sun.
Play League of Legends.
Play League of... No, don't do that. God, no. And if people are just starting out editing, I would recommend starting on shorts and then moving into long form, because they are a lot easier and quicker. And when you're trying to edit long form stuff, it is a bit of a grind. You do kind of have to sit at your computer for like days on end, which is fine. Like, I love it. You kind of have to work yourself into that.
Where can editors find resources for videos?
Once you get further into it and you want to do it more professionally and you feel comfortable spending money, there are really good asset libraries out there like Epidemic Sound, Storyblocks, Envato. All of those will have really high quality sound effects. Before all that, I wouldn't recommend spending like $70 a month on an Epidemic Sound subscription. You can also find really good high quality sound effects. Just like look up on YouTube, like, I don't know, fart sound effect, or like whoosh, best whoosh sound effects. You can also find like stock footage on YouTube too. Like YouTube is the best resource ever.
Could you tell me what the pros and the cons are for being a professional editor?
I definitely like that I can kind of make my own schedule. The actual act of editing, I find very fun. I love sitting at my computer and watching something turn from raw footage that's not color graded, that's just sitting on a timeline, and turning that into a polished YouTube video that like millions of people watch and are like commenting about like how good the editing is. And like I get paid to do that, and I like live in a nice place. I get like my food paid for. I don't really have to like worry about money too much, and I just get to sit and edit videos. It's amazing. I'm so lucky and so grateful for like the life that I have right now. Cons, you do work a lot. I do not often go outside. I've been working on that recently. Just like going to dinner with friends, like trying to get my social interaction in, because I am also very introverted, you know.
That's like the perfect job.
It is the perfect job, but it's like too perfect. But like sometimes, like I'm 21 right now, I do look back on like ages 17 to like where I am now, and I'm a little bit sad. I'm like, I kind of missed out on a lot of like being a stupid kid. I kind of like traded that for like having like a career, which I would do 100 times out of 100.
But like, look at where you are now. Like, that's huge for you. You're living in LA. You're living comfortably in LA at 21 years old with a full-time video editing. Like,
it's insane.
That's crazy.
Like I said, I'm incredibly like grateful and lucky.
I mean, like I was saying, give yourself some credit, because that's impressive. I mean, honestly. Since you're an editor, you do long form and short form content.
Yes.
How would you create short form content that engages audiences?
Like I said, story is everything. A good friend of mine, and probably the best editor I know, Ryan Gonzalez, he edits for Michelle Carre. I don't know if you know her.
I know her. I love her.
Yeah, all of his videos or her videos, a lot of them were edited by Ryan. He never shuts up about story and how everything needs to have a story. Since it's short form, you need to have a hook. You need to have something that people haven't seen before, or like something to grab people's attention. And then from there, you need to get people invested in like your character and your person. You do want to tell a little story where you have your hook, your inciting action, which is something is going to happen soon. You have your rising action where the anticipation is building, and then you have your climax, and then you have your falling action, and you want to sit in that moment. You always want to go back to that, whether you're editing long form, editing a short, because stories are so like innate as humans. Like that's what everything is based on. That's what content creation is based on.
If you have a story to share, or an engaging personality, or something that makes people want to stay, even if it's something they're not interested in. Like, I've done streams before that people watch my streams. They don't watch because they play the game. They watch for me.
Yeah.
And that feels so good, because, you know, that means you're entertaining people, even if they're not interested necessarily in what you're doing. They're interested in your story.
I think that is the best way to gain and keep an audience. All the OG Fortnite people, and they're all kind of like fading out. A lot of people based their come up and based their viewers and their stream experience on the game itself and being good at the game. And so when the game kind of fell out of favor and people stopped playing it, nobody really stuck around.
When you said that, that reminded me of one YouTuber specifically that's been around forever, PewDiePie. His Minecraft Let's Plays were some of the biggest, well-edited style Minecraft videos.
Yeah.
The amount of story that just came from his Let's Plays. Have you seen his Let's Plays?
Oh, dude,
before?
I
binged those.
I have a bottle or a tub of PewDiePie G Fuel right there. The whole arc where he like lost his dog and needed to get him back. I think those videos might be some of the highest viewed Minecraft Let's Plays.
The other thing about that too is kind of made you come back for more, because you'd have like episode 1 through 12 and you're like, well, where is episode 13? I need to find out what happened.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing thoughts that you'd like to share with us?
Thank you for doing this, for reaching out.
Of course.
And for the compliments. So yeah, go for it. Also, don't take it from me. Like, learn all this stuff yourself. I'm just a guy. You don't need to like take what I say seriously. I'm 21.
He's like, actually, I know you just watched this entire video, but don't take my advice.
Don't take my advice. the experience is the best teacher. So just like go out and you'll probably learn all of these things. But yeah, be humble, make friends, and work hard. That's it.